items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte Farrow, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. And here we go, Farrow, another edition of Head to Head where we're putting up Wendi Richter against Becky Lynch.
Jarrett, hit the tape.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, so it's Wendi Richter, Becky Lynch. Farrow, name the rules of the game, my friend.
Oh, God, why do I always get this job? I can barely remember my name. All right, let's go to the first category. We've got 5 categories. We're going to decide who's better here. First category is mic skills. How you doing there on the convo level? Can you talk like The Rock, or are you Shanky, Mike's favorite?
I love Shanky.
Shanky doesn't talk. So
I love
Shanky gets
Shanky.
a big fat F on the mic. All right, let's go to Matt skills. Obviously, this is pretty obvious. I always mention Bret Hart, especially when he's about to leave the company with my belt. So do you have the level of Bret Hart, or do you have the level of Orange Cassidy? What a drop kick that guy throws. Okay, let's go to the next category. The next category, I do believe I'll say, is the back of the baseball card. I love this category. This is the nerd in me. We're talking about belts and, things like Money in the Bank and Royal Rumbles and, what's on the back of your baseball card. Or do you got nothing, like poor Frank Williams, my hero. Okay, then we've got, impact on the industry? Where, what kind of mark did you leave in this business? How's your trail looking there? And, of course, the final category is the it factor. Did I get all of these, by the way?
You did.
I think I did.
You did. You did well.
The it factor. Are you, as I always say, Hogan, or are you, I don't know, give me somebody. Who's the opposite of Hogan?
Let's go with
Steve King? I always mention Steve
You
King.
love Steve King.
Yeah, Steve King, the jobber from the early 80s. There you go. All right, so there it is, folks. Those are the rules for head-to-head.
All right,
Hit it, Mike.
So, Wendi Richter.
Okay.
Former WWF champion, 2-time champion. She was very famous for the first screw job where the belt was taken from her by the Spider Lady.
That was Moolah.
Fabulous Moolah.
Yeah, that was sneaky. I remember that.
Wendi Richter, as you know, started the whole rock and wrestling. She was an integral part.
Yes, she
as
was.
She was managed by the great Cyndi Lauper.
And Dave Wolf.
Right, as they went against
I think.
Fabulous Moolah,
Yeah.
and I believe, was it Leilani Kai?
Well, didn't Richter have to deal with Moolah
Well,
herself?
Richter against Moolah, and then
Yeah.
for WrestleMania, it was Leilani Kai,
Oh, yeah, look at
right?
you and Leilani Kai.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, sorry, I mixed
You're not
that
going
up.
to throw me a Velvet McIntyre, are you?
And then, Becky Lynch doesn't really need any sort of introduction. I will
No.
open it up with my wife wanted me to share.
What?
She's sick of Becky Lynch.
She doesn't like Becky.
She feels Becky has no mic skills.
That's messed up.
She's 98 pounds.
That's messed up,
She squeals
too.
like a pig.
That's messed up, 3.
She has no, I said no mic skills.
Yes, you said
Can't
that.
wrestle.
Can't wrestle. This is insane.
And she said that, and I said, you sure you want to say that? Because she's probably one of the more popular wrestlers in wrestling right
really-
now.
that's-
And she goes, I don't get it. She's a clown.
Very interesting. What do you think of that? I think that's bizarre.
I think Becky is good.
Yeah, I think Becky's fantastic.
But I think I'm going to put up a fight with you with Becky and Wendi
All right,
Richter.
we'll
And
see
by the
what
fans,
happens.
I will tell you when you'll see the comments after the show's done.
We'll see what
We've
happens.
got a lot of people
We'll see what happens.
bending towards Wendi.
You know how I'm going to go, but we'll see what happens.
All right, let's go.
Well, what's the first category? You want to do Mike skills?
Sure, let's go, Mike.
Okay,
Skills.
you're going to compare Wendi Richter to Becky Lynch?
So
Nope.
100%.
Becky.
100% Becky.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Can't argue that.
Yep.
Wendi Richter was never great on the mic.
Okay. Category 2. So that's 1 for Becky.
Sure.
Category 2, mat skills. Now, hold on before we do anything further. Mat skills. Now, Becky Lynch is one of the 4 horsewomen, isn't she?
She is.
Becky Lynch is one of those who set the bar and the whole women's evolution thing, right? She is. In the ring, doesn't she have the bloodline too? Isn't her mom a legend over across the pond?
I don't know if she's a legend, but she's
Across the
known.
pond, she is. I know that she is in her home country. She's pretty well known. I would have to say that Matt Skills is as much of a blowaway as Mike Skills. 2 for Becky.
So wait, hold on, dude. Do I got to weigh in on this? at
No,
all?
you do, but I'm saying 2 for Becky. Go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
different era with
Yeah.
Wendi Richter.
Yeah, tell me how Vergano she was. Go ahead.
Okay. Wendi
laughing.
Was a very well-rounded
She was a
wrestler.
good wrestler. No, she was.
She could
For her
sell.
time period, she was.
She could sell.
Yeah.
She could move.
Sure she could. No, she was good.
You know,
She
in the
was.
women's division,
Absolutely
I think
could
that she
wrestle.
was quite
just not Becky.
the wrestler.
She's just not
But
Becky.
again, I'm going to go with
Yeah, she's just
Becky
not Becky.
Lynch.
I agree. She's just not
Okay,
Becky. She was
but to
damn
be
good
fair,
though.
But to
in
be,
her time, she
but
might have
to
been
be
the
fair,
best.
Becky Lynch also has the competition who's at her level.
Sure.
Where Wendi Richter had a
Moolah.
very
Don't pick on Moolah.
limit. She had a very
She had San Martino for
limited.
chicks.
What if this
Moolah.
challenge was Moolah against Becky Lynch? This would be a
wouldn't
different
this be
story.
Interesting. Oh, this would be very interesting.
All I'm going to say
Very interesting.
is
For 27
that
years as champion, this would be
all
interesting.
I'm going to say is that Wendi Richter was facing very low
Lesser.
level
Absolutely.
women.
And I thought that
talent.
she was the best in the ring pretty much against the chicks she faced. So I'll give her that. All right, back of the baseball card. Go ahead. You go first. Back of the baseball
So
card.
we're in 2 different eras, many championships,
Mm-hmm.
but this goes back to when we discussed San Martino, our Backlund,
Yeah.
against, say, a Daniel Bryan, for example.
Okay.
Obviously, the back of the baseball card is going to have more championships in
Yeah.
the 2000s.
It's not about quantity, but go
right?
ahead. I got
But
you.
I would say I'm giving this one to Wendi Richter
I can't
because she legitimately is a 2-time World Wrestling Federation champion and the one who made that championship, which later on became dysfuncted a word? Or whatever.
It became dysfunctional.
It,
Go ahead.
it ended up being eliminated
Right.
by the WWE because
Right.
it's lack of necessity.
Right.
She made that belt. So you mentioned Moolah, who held it for 27 years.
Yeah.
In the short reign, Wendi Richter had that title.
Okay.
We'll call it 7 months, 6 months. Made that belt important. More important than the 27 years that Fabulous Moolah had with that
That's
belt.
because circumstances allowed that to happen.
Listen, just like I said,
Moolah wasn't
she wrestled
27 years
women.
old in 1985
You're not
if
giving
she
her a
was,
break when she
you know.
wrestled women, not at the level that Becky Lynch
No, I
gets
am
to
giving her a
wrestle.
break.
So, but not
I am.
enough to give it to her.
No, I'm not
So
giving it to
anyway,
her.
that's where I'm going.
Right.
2-1, Becky Lynch.
Well, actually, yeah. Well, that's actually a draw because I've got it Becky 3 and you've got it 2-1 Becky.
Yeah.
If you understand where we're going.
I
Okay,
gotcha.
so what's next?
Oh, so you're just saying no?
No, she's
back of the
got
baseball
no. I'm
card,
not giving
Becky
her.
Lynch.
No, absolutely not. Becky's got a better back of the
Okay.
baseball card. Yeah, she does.
All right.
She really does. You
What's
know?
next?
It Factor. Wendi Richter without Cyndi Lauper standing next to her. Another one for Becky. I got 4 for Bex. So I'm sorry.
I'm going. All right.
Can't give her the It Factor over Becky.
I'm going to also say I'm giving Wendi Richter the It Factor. The reason I'm going with Wendi Richter the It Factor, Wendi Richter is the one that made us all her, Cyndi Lauper, Roddy Piper, Hulk Hogan, and of course Vincent Kennedy McMahon behind the scenes, made us who are watching this show, who are hosting this show, the wrestling fans we are today.
You're trying very hard.
They were
I'll give you
a
that.
game changer. Becky Lynch is
Evolution, women's evolution, the pay-per-view.
Who started women's evolution?
Who sold more shirts than any of them?
Part of the machine.
Biggest part of the machine.
Wendi Richter
Coming from
made
female,
the machine.
as far as the dollar.
Wendi Richter made the machine. Becky Lynch, part of the machine.
4-0, Bex.
I got it 2-2. Last
Okay.
one.
All right. Impact on the industry. Richter. I'm giving it to Richter.
Why?
Because of all the things you argued about and all those other things, doesn't make her a better wrestler, doesn't make her better on the mic, doesn't make her have a better red factor than Becky, but it does state the obvious. What happened at WrestleMania, but you know already, and we talked about it off the air, I give more credit to the MTV connection, to Cyndi Lauper, to Vince McMahon, to Hulk Hogan, to Mr. T, to Roddy Piper. Wendi Richter did a great job, but Wendi Richter was not the preservative. Wendi Richter was the additive. Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair were like the preservatives to what they were doing and what they were driving. Okay? They didn't need a Cyndi Lauper. Okay? And Hulk Hogan, by the way, didn't need nobody either. We just happened to add some other shit in. Okay? Whether it was Liberace or whoever.
PJ says, without Wendi, there's no Becky.
Understood. Without Bruno, there's no blah, 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 blah. You know,
enough.
I mean, you can go on and on and on. Without Gorgeous George, there is no Ric Flair.
I agree. Wendi Richter.
Factor.
I've got a 3-2. You got a 4-1. Unfortunately,
we have a draw.
No, this is Pharaoh's segment, so Pharaoh outweighs me on this.
Actually, no.
So we're going to give it to him.
As the son of an accountant, this is how we should do it. There was 4 points for me coming from Becky.
Right.
There was 2 points for you coming from Becky.
Fair
There's
enough.
6 points for Becky.
Yep.
There's 1 point coming from me. For Wendi, there was 3 points coming from you. Becky wins 6-4.
Becky wins.
It is
But,
what it is.
again...
Did you stay with that, folks? I try to make it quick. Anyway, that was a pretty good one, though. Not bad. You know, I know I was pretty hard on Wendi, but again, I feel like there was more the circumstances, the timing. I mean, if Fabulous Moolah had been 27 years old in 1985 for the first WrestleMania, I bet you she would have killed it. Oh, my God. She probably would have held the belt till today.
Drunk guy says every time he goes to Wendy's restaurant, he asks for a Richter Frosty.
A Richter Frosty?
Well, Wendi Richter. Go to Wendy's when you get a hamburger.
That's
ask for the Richter
excellent.
Frosty.
I like that. Okay.
All right, guys, we're almost out of
that
time.
works.
We want to go and get together and discuss some of the upcoming shows that are happening
I sense trouble,
here.
trouble.
Well, trouble is happening as tomorrow we've got it posted at 5. We're probably going to change it to like 5:30.
Okay.
We've got EC3 in studio.
trouble.
Jared won't be with us, so we have a fill-in, but he'll
Okay.
hopefully do as good of a job that Jared does.
Okay.
Are you excited for EC3?
Yes, I am. I'm a huge fan of EC3. You know that. I love EC3, especially this time in TNA. And then he came to Vince. Oh, well.
There you go.
Notice I don't hate Vince for it, though. What'd you do? Although I will ask EC3, what'd he do?
On Friday, July 22nd, we've got the return, 3 times the charm, Tommy Rich in studio.
That ought to be fantastic.
All right, we got some games for Tommy. We're going
to play games with Tommy?
I think we're going to bring back Hit It or Quit It for Tommy. What do you think?
Oh, my God. He'll love that.
What do you think?
I think that'll be fantastic.
Jared, you ready to play Hit It or Quit It with Tommy Rich?
Has Jared done it?
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
He has not.
Jared has not done a Hit It or Quit It. That should be very interesting.
And then after Tommy is Hands of Stone, if you like him in the WWE or the WWF, or Rugged Ronnie Garvin, if he's the NWA guy. Did you